It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see who's better, Houston's former team or its current one. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
Welcome in, everyone, to this presentation of the National Football League on EA Sports. So good to have you on board with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here in the booth. Greg, in this league, you know it, you lived it. Undergoing a changing of the guard, the quarterback position sometimes can be traumatic, but a lot of times it leads to hope. We've got a couple of teams here with young signal callers looking towards the future.
And you know the old saying, Mike, in the NFL, it is truer than ever. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And here we have two teams that feel like they have that quarterback position of the future settled. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some moments where that youth rears its head. But over the long term, both these organizations feel like they have an answer at the most critical position in all of sports.
We are about set for some football, and it's Joey Sly to kick things off. And off we go from Houston. Braxton Berrios now to bring it back. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Houston offense heading out to the field for the first time. They're led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2023. From Ohio State, it's C.J. Stroud.
We had a chance to see him out on the field early in pregame, and I thought he looked really sharp. I thought he looked focused. We had a chance to talk to him earlier in the week, and he's excited for this opportunity today. He thinks he's got a chance to lead this offense and have a lot of success, and ultimately the number one goal is to come out with a victory.
Stroud begins with a pass. His throw left side, taken in by Kirk. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Not something you want to see in the opening minute of the game. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. From the gun, here's Stroud. Now he'll run. Stroud avoids the contact as he slides to a stop after picking up the first down. 12 yards there and a first down.
A quarterback who can extend the play with his legs, Mike, is just such a key element to today's modern offenses. You can see there was nowhere for him to go with the ball, but he decides to turn into a runner, picks up a great gain, and ultimately a first down.
First carry for Joe Mixon, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. The linebacker, Cody Barton, in on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. That's complete. It's Tank Dell. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Stroud to throw here on 1st and 10. He'll spot his big tight end. That's Dalton Schultz.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
2nd down, here's a run, and here's Mixon. And he'll work his way for about 4 yards. And that's good enough for a first down.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Stroud to throw here on 1st down. That's caught. It's Joe Mixon. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Got his man. It's Kirk. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
This opening drive, it has been a work of art. Now, can they put the finishing touches on? It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Mixon. Down to the 4, it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, Stroud. That is caught by the tight end, Dalton Schultz. Touchdown, Texans. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Texans will take a 7-0 lead. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Tennessee offense taking the field for the first time. Leading them out, it is their rookie quarterback from your alma mater, Greg, University of Miami.
You hear people talk about it all the time, and it's especially true, Mike, for young rookie quarterbacks, is just the speed of the game. They had a lot of success in college. They were probably the best player on their team, but just everything is faster. Everything happens with a little more urgency. The quarterbacks at the young age that can make that transition the quickest, everything else then tends to slow down.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. He's going to get it to Okonkwo. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
Connecting with his tight end, Okonkwo. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. He was seeking the veteran Tyler Lockett there, and it'll be third down. They'll try and run for the first down with Pollard.
That's That's a heck of a stop by this defense early in this game, Mike, and it sets up a decision for the offense. You might be a little too far away to attempt a realistic field goal, but you might be a little too close to get anything out of the punt unit. I think I'm keeping the offense on. I'm trying to extend this drive, and I'm being aggressive here.
Early big play here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's Jefferson. And he will have that 1st down. Taking a chance here early in the game, but they convert on 4th down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 9. They send Ridley in motion. He'll look to throw. To the tight end, and he fits it in on the corner route. That's catch 3 just on this drive, and it gets his team a 1st down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They run it straight ahead with Pollard. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. On play action, he'll set up to throw. That caught Tony Pollard. And they'll mark him out at the 8, but it is enough to set up 1st and goal.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
Lockett on the slant. He's got it. And the tackle is made at about the 6. Now here's 2nd and goal. A give to Pollard running right. And no place to go, no place to hide. He's taken down behind the line.
The idea here on 2nd down is in the event you're unable to score, at least put yourself in a 3rd and manageable goal-to-go situation. But now after taking a loss, it really changes their approach here. And I think on 3rd and goal now, they got to put this ball in the air.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
Joey Sly comes on. They'll try the field goal here. This about as short as you can get. Sly's kick is good. And the Titans are on the board. It's 7-3.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Joey Sly back out to kick this one away. Here's Berrios on the return. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Texans offense going to take over now for the second time. The lead sits at 4. So they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. To throw is Stroud. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
So the receiver does everything right, except for the most important part. He runs a nice route, he creates great separation downfield, but now you just got to finish that thing off with a catch.
Throwing on 2nd down, Stroud. He's got his man. That's Nico Collins. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
They go right back to Collins. He's got it again. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Off the play fake. Here's Stroud. Oh, they are on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. And it's recovered by one of his teammates.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get strip sack, and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
3rd and 5. Here's Stroud. This is hot. He got the connection to Collins. That's catch 3 just on this drop. And it gets his team a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And he's going to wind up losing yardage here, and that will take us to the end of the opening quarter of play. So after 1, it's the Texans who have the early lead. And more from Houston coming up in a moment. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. On the bootleg, it's Stroud. That'll be taken in by Mixon. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
Here comes 3rd and 6. Stroud going to set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
So, on 4th down, on comes Tommy Townsend to punt for Houston, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. And that's going to work out well. Out of bounds, and they mark it inside the 5-yard line. The Titans offense about ready to get going on their second possession. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. They bring the tight end in motion. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he tried to get away, but he can't break free, and that is going to be a safety. So first, the decision to throw down here backed up near your own goal line, and the defense gets to the quarterback, sacking him, Greg, in the end zone for a safety.
Mike, anytime you're willing to call a pass backed up this deep in your side of the field, you have to trust that your quarterback is going to have the clock in his head to get the ball out of his hand. In this case, he holds on to it too long. The defense is able to get to him in the end zone, and it results in the safety.
So after that safety, it is a free kick, and that comes from the 20. Here's Berrios on the return. The Houston offense going to make their way back onto the field. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. Throwing is Stroud. He'll let one go deep for Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds, but they move it down to the 25-yard line. A big play to kick off this drive. 42 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
They'll come up here 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle to Mixon. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that first down. Second and a yard. From the gun, here's Stroud. That's over the middle and caught by Collins.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
So not quite 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10. They're pretty close. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. To the goal line and in. Nico Collins. Touchdown, Houston. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. This one is caught by Kirk. Here's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. The defense standing strong in the red zone. They drop him back at the 10.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back, but not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
And he will score. C.J. Stroud, touchdown Texans. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. That is a heartbreaker for the defense. They took away what he wanted to do in the air, Greg, but that scrambling ability gets him to the end zone for the touchdown.
And the reason he was able to take advantage with his legs here, Mike, is he made a fast decision realizing there was nowhere to go with the ball. The amount of guys the defense had in coverage took those passes away. He tucked the ball down, took advantage of the space, and he was able to take it all the way.
The kick is good, but there are penalty flags down. They might have made contact with the kicker too late. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it up. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Tennessee offense. They get set to see what they can do. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's to the left side and taken in by Jefferson. And a big strike for good yardage there all the way up to midfield.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick as that ball is coming out.
They converge on him quickly. He'll only get a couple. It is Azeez Al-Shire with the stop. Second down and 8. Again, it's Pollard. Trying to shove his way forward, but brought down after a gain of a yard. Here's 3rd and 7. Now they'll set up to throw. Got a man, it's Lockett. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here comes Pollard. And he'll manage to bring this down to about the 37. Christian Harris there on the stop. Back to throw. He's going to get it to Okonkwo. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
On third down, here's Pollard. Call it a gain of 13. That's good for a Titan first down.
Up until that run, this first half, it's kind of been tough sledding here for this run game. They'd love to see him get going. That last big pickup's going to go a long way.
So they move inside the 20, first and 10 at the 18. They'll run once more, and it's Pollard again. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down. Lockett headed in motion. They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. Look at him move away from a tackler as he winds up gaining 7 yards. Nice run there.
When they called that sweep, Mike, obviously they're thinking, let's pick up the first down. They didn't quite get to the chains, but I think they're going to be pretty happy with that game.
They have converted twice on third down on this drive, and they need a yard here with 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end. That's a Okonkwo. And he's going to have the first down. They convert on 3rd, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up a first down.
And he will take this one across into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Joey Sly on now for the point after. He's got it. And the Titans are back within 6.
Texans 16, Titans 10.
Following the touchdown, here's Sly to kick it away. Here's Berrios on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Now, Stroud. He'll get this one to his safety valve, complete, and they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Stroud. Got his man. It's Kirk. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Stroud. The throw on the run is complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they're going to mark him inside the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 26, and it'll set up first and goal.
Man, they're just running this 2-minute drill to complete perfection. And this is such a point of emphasis of every offense, Mike. These end-of-half scenarios to come away stealing points make a big impact on the outcome of the game. And they're knocking on the door here, first and goal. And at the very least, got to come away with some points.
Now, Stroud. This one caught at the 4. Inside the 5, it is second and goal. To throw, it's Stroud. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Takedown. Touchdown, Houston. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
Fairbairn to add the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Texans add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. He'll start at the 4. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Titans offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll start out first down and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drop. That's complete to lock it outright. Second and 7. He'll look to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ridley, complete. And a big strike for good yardage there all the way up to midfield. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. He'll get this over the middle to Jefferson. And he's close to a first down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down. Back to the air one more time. That's lock it downfield. He's got it. And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
26 yards.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone.
It is brought in the end zone. Calvin Ridley, touchdown Titans.
What separates the really good quarterbacks from everybody else in the National Football League, Mike, is not only ability to process, but the ability to process quickly under pressure, and I think that's exactly the case here. He's able to go through his progression, find his target in the end zone, and then deliver that ball on time, accurately, and the result is a touchdown.
Sly now for the point after. He gets it to go, and the Titans are back within 6.
Texans 23, Titans 17.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. On the return, it's Dameon Pierce. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. C.J. Stroud and the Houston offense set to get going again. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. Spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. So they come to the line for first down and 10. To throw is Stroud. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
Timing and trust. Critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
We'll try again. It's second and 10. From the gun, here's Stroud. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
So after picking up some positive yardage on first down, they end up going backwards on second. That sack now brings up third and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
So we have reached halftime here. It is a 6-point difference at the break. As we'll send you over to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman standing by. He's got the EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the halftime report. It was a terrific first half from the former Offensive Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud. He threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another, as his guys have the lead at halftime. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Coach, thank you. Not a rest at the break for the defensive coordinators, trying to figure out how to stop these offenses as we get ready for the second half. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Titans offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. The deficit, 6 points. A touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. First and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one into the hands of Jefferson. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Lockett headed in motion. They run on the jet sweep. And this defense having nothing of it. They get them down for a loss on the play.
Great job by the defense seeing this jet sweep unfold. They're able to get right to the point of contact and take this guy down for a loss.
Here now, 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's Jefferson. He's going to have the first down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play.
And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs. But sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play. And good job by the defenders tracking him down and took him down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. And a pickup of 3 or maybe 4. Derek Stingley Jr. off the edge makes the tackle. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He'll try and get there on the ground. 10 yards on the scramble there, and he picks up the first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he is short of the goal line, but they are in business at the 1-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
So the big play gets him down close, and now it's 1st and goal. Now they'll set up to throw. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
Back to throw. Over the top. He's got it. Then Jefferson. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Pretty interesting sequence of play calls here, Mike. You can tell going into this game, they felt their matchups down here deep in the tight red zone were better through the air than maybe they were necessarily on the ground. We see 2 back-to-back throws. The second one, though, results in a touchdown.
Out comes Sly for the extra point. He's got it. And the Titans have taken the lead by a point here in the third.
Texans 23.
Following the touchdown, here's Sly to kick it away. Here's Berrios on the return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Texans offense and C.J. Stroud ready to get to work once more. And he has been in control of this offense. Want to run you through some of the action from earlier on. You've got the 2 touchdown passes, over 200 passing yards. He has been excellent all game long. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. A tight end in motion now. On play action. Stroud. He's got room past the 35. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
They will work the middle with Mixon. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
Again, they'll give it to Mixon. And once again, they try the same runner. They get the same result. Back-to-back carries of no gain. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, it's clear, Mike, this defense is really locked in. They have a clear beat on what this run game plan is. Back-to-back stops for no gain brings up 3rd and long.
From the gun here on 3rd down, it's Stroud. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
The Texans set to punt this one away, as he's on to punt for the 2nd time. This brought in out past the 20. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. Right away, they'll set up to throw. Connecting with his tight end, Okonkwo. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. They send Ridley in motion. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down. They'll run here with Pollard. On fourth down, the longtime special teams ace, Johnny Hecker on to punt. Braxton Berrios deep to return. A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Texans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground, and here's Mixon. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33.
Well, after not having much success in the first half, they're able to get something going on the ground here to start the third quarter. I'd love to see the play caller mix in some play action, mix in some pass game. That should open up some of these holes for better situations to run the ball.
Stroud to throw here on 1st down. That one underneath here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
So often for a defense defending the passing game, the most difficult guy to account for is the running back out of the backfield. So a really nice job here bringing him down before he has a chance to pick up any yards after the catch.
Schultz is the motion man. They'll go play action with Stroud. And he'll try to use that size and push forward, but it will not work. They're going to get him down behind the line.
Linebacker certainly wasn't fooled on that play. Not only does he get there in a hurry, but he's able to secure that tackle and bring him down for a loss.
Here's a 3rd and 10. Stroud. They try to work the screen with Mixon.
This is one of those cases where the offense is counting on the defensive line being over-aggressive in their pass rush, thinking that they can get the ball out of the quarterback's hand and into the back and pick up the 1st down on the yards after the catch. But the defense was obviously ready for it. A lot of guys running to the ball and just nowhere to go.
He'll take this in back at the 16. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Titans offense ready to take over once more. Their lead is just a point as they begin it on this drive with 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll look for Pollard out of the backfield. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass, get past the 1st down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here, You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.